brothers and sisters, put your hands together for Apocalypse. Peace. Here we go. Another day from the desk of Apocalypse. Dogs to Gods Entertainment. With a quick word of reflection and great excitement and anticipation. Happy Savior's Day to all who could hear my voice. You know, we're like a week away, a week and a day away from the Swan Song, with the help of Allah and by Allah's permission, where we will hear from Allah in and through the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, a message that we all anticipate. And I was reflecting on a question to myself today, this morning, that I will ask you, since you listening. And we deal with it in this book on the 5th step, process the data. You know, and the question is, who are you versus who you have become? You know what I'm saying? And this is a process or a step in the process, you know, on the road to recovery. You know, now, of course, this book is dealing with my own story, you know, and through drug addiction, you know what I mean? But this is life itself, you know, because we learn in scripture that we are born in sin, born in a world full of sin and shaped in iniquity, a world full of that, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, to come into that world, what other choice do you have? Even if you're being raised properly, you still have to go out in a world full of sin and that's shaped in iniquity. So the influences and all of the different things that's coming at us, and you don't even have to go out. You know, just about everybody has a cell phone now, so you could just click on. You could just tap in, you know what I mean? And you could tap right into a world of sin and a world of iniquity, right? And so that's a very significant and necessary question. Who are you versus who you have become? You know what I'm saying? And so we'll just leave that right there for us to ponder, because I was reflecting on how I came into contact with the Nation of Islam, right? You know, at the age of 19, talk about it in the book, you know, I was working at 4000 Massachusetts Avenue, Northwest DC, in a high-rise building, so-called high-rise building. When you're in Chicago, you see high-rise buildings. That wasn't really no high-rise compared to these buildings in Chicago, right? But anyway, so I used to mop and sweep and, you know what I'm saying, clean out the trash, room, change the light bulb if it needs to be or what have you. So one day, I'm in the trash room and I'm throwing everything down the chute. That's, you know, because some people, they lazy, man. They don't come and throw the stuff down the chute. They just throw it on the floor, right? So that's what I'm doing, right? Throwing the stuff down the chute. So I pick up a book that's laying face down. And so I pick it up and get ready to throw it down the chute. And I see this black man pointing like this with glasses on. And it said, from hoodlum to hustler to pimp to genius, Malcolm X. I was like, okay, all right. I'm around hoodlums, hustlers, and pimps all day, every day. How this dude become a genius, right? Because I didn't know who Malcolm X was at the age of 19. So anyway, And that was my first contact with information that I could read, so of course I took the book home because I wanted to know how this man become a genius, man. You know what I'm saying? So I took the book home, started reading it, couldn't put it down. I even took the book to the drug strip with me, sitting on the steps reading it, couldn't put it down, and it was fascinating to learn all of these things about black people and our contribution to civilization, and then the condition that we're in and how we got here. You know what I'm saying? That started my process and my journey of learning. Learning who are you for real? What happened to you? When did it happen? Who, what, when, where, why? How? You know what I mean? Why? You know what I mean? And then how in the world you gonna get up out of this, right? And my point is that led me, at that time, the Dope Busters, you heard about the Dope Busters, right? Had started their work in the community in DC, in Paradise and Mayfair Mansion, you know what I mean? And so, of course, the streets talk, man. That thing was, you know what I mean? And then, of course, they got some press too. And so, because of my condition, you know what I mean? Because we, soon thereafter, we did something in the street that, had we gone back out there, you would never know me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'd be 6 feet under. But anyway, that's in the book too. But anyway, but what this did was it, at that particular time, I was a little afraid to go to the mosque. No, I was a lot afraid to go to the mosque at that time because of my condition, right? So I went back to the church, you know what I mean, with Reverend Willie Wilson. You know what I mean? In Southeast DC, I got to monitor the amount of times I say, you know what I mean? Somebody told me, man, you say you get more in if you stop saying, you know what I mean? You don't know what I'm saying so much. But anyway, so we went back to the church and, dusted, had to dust some stuff off before we headed over to the mosque. You know what I mean? And the whole time we had been listening to the voice of Allah in the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and just getting more and more strength, more and more confidence, and finally, getting to that point where, yes, it's time to go over to the mosque. You know what I'm saying? And so the whole time we had been in a process and are still in a process of rediscovery. You know what I mean? I know what I had become by this world and how this world shaped me in sin and iniquity, and so the more I feed on the truth, the more I study the truth, the more I get into the word, the more I see the Minister Louis Farrakhan as a living example before the world. It's one thing to see each other and see others on different levels, but to see one before the world who was shaped into the Messiah, the one who would deliver all of humanity, who accepts into the truth, into a process of establishing Allah's kingdom here on earth. You know what I mean? So the more we watch, the more we study, the more we witness, you know what I mean, the more we can grow into who we really are versus what we had become. So the swan song is like, boom, a stamp. You know what I mean? A stamp on what is to come that's already happening. That's my vantage point. All right. So anyway, February 27th, 2022. You can go to noi.org/SD 2022. And tune in 1 p.m. Central Standard Time on February 27th. Come on in. And for all the believers and all the people who are coming this way, man, I am looking forward to seeing you and fellowshipping and showing love to one another. All right. So we're gonna open the day. It's Sunday, noon to 6 at the foodie spot, 7350 South Stony Island Avenue. Come on through and show us some love. And we getting ready. Enjoy your day. Peace.